I said the general secretary of the party speaking, nobody as a locus. I will not miss this word.
You are talking about the majority caucus.
And so what?
Led by the leader of
and so what? Is he bigger than the general secretary?
Minister of Parliament.
Is he bigger than the general secretary of the party?
Right, abusian be like video no share dia mo bi fufuro na ono so anya bi etumi ahwe. Ena ewudu ani akirem wo NDC amanyoku no mu a emu engo kra isanse abatuo kakra ekoso ewo ayawaso east no akofa nsem bebre edi aba mampanyi release statement cancel fufuro afi nsu krampo no party no enso so release statement cancel fufuro ena majority in parliament so a statement and also so a cancel fufuro na sa statement ahodo ye ba bonchin akofa mentimi ho ase bebre edi aba menei Anthony Nukpenu nsemu a watoto diama Mahama yarigo no ye majority leader o mrahye bedwam no enya asem ketu akra no party no mu ehuru butu na internal election kakra bi mpo na esi a ahase ehuru na ebeko selection of national executives na mpo akwakosi flag bearer eni ebe yire papa ebusia yanjibre ni enkotie nsemu a akoso ani bi na yenso yenkyere adwinfa nsemu a ekoso ewo vote buying and selling a akoso ewo ayawaso.
When we talk in this country, maybe Adamika say, when you mean blessing this platform, you could see say you would sell when you're on 30. Some of the things that are happening today. We have said it several times in this country that and no matter be honoma titu pa yes ayawasu east in komo asabe ebinim say oh debi na we dey na fe na ye ka say me and no more time baba jama na say debi and komo we dey maybe on a bia one here or be kwakwa a certain scapegoat to be for lack of a better word, but no crap say the NDC knows, the MPP knows, the journalists know that this is what has been prevailing. Where a conspiracy talked about monocracy in our government of the democracy, in our politics.
Yes.
Various people of repute, Akasaba, Kwanya Sika, Enya Kwenya. Now you cover elections, Ghana,
yes,
election headquarters.
Yes.
We saw people open talk. Oh, language says, we haven't seen all this before.
It's true.
It's a 70 bar.
Because you who back
cylinders not for yes. A 70 bar. TV. We give political solutions to national issues.
Sure.
Because Ebia, and away the system person, all those things, no, and Timin Koyam Rama or Mano Katum Famobra. The enemy say a Kotua bar, Sikasem, and it's Archediano, and you're part of your battle. Simple. In Chemubian, maybe. But if you are the Sudiana pa Emrashebegem, Sasudiana Comrashebegem, Abba, why? So if we want solutions, Yan Yapantai, Yan country, I will say, Sikasem, a dear, our Kemamin Kebi, and I'm on two, and I come to a YouTube. If we don't do that, because I am expecting that the NDC will nullify this election.
Why should they?
Because they believe that Omono associated with normal bribery and corruption when it comes to elections. That's the position they've taken with the election.
But the bribery alleged would have to be established. Say,
well, no, maybe I don't know. You don't. I will be. Some of them remember the BTA. Now, idea no. It's any pan agent in Yano.
Yes.
Obia and Cherry, and a BBI on you who say Kivo or Gary, and you who say a Kivo milk. Whatever chance, some of them, but the young winter, yet to mean Jimunino. Say, I know what you know. Do you also agree, say, you want us to establish, say, I and Tumano, Kivo Garino, Cosiano, 30-20, no, I some to be established. Okay, I told him, yeah, establish you here. About to be Obiano Cocochadi because we are establishing
Obianca's Obianco Chadio. The American say, you want to make consequential decisions based on assembly.
What is consequential about the American? The American say,
what who said delegates be a interview. And I will be Casame, Major Troma. Memeji Kivo Gary, who say any of the aspirant, Eden Thomas, okay, Obi. Who say obedient Thomas Obi, me see, me pedia okay, say, yes or no, Well, who be
I'm saying you.
I'm saying
the
investigations established.
Me pedi o kan say.
Yes.
Ye hu bi. Ba ye hu say to money give oni.
Amount for can. Say amount.
Me dem me kasa amount for them.
Okay.
Me dem hu ye.
Okay.
Fortunately for me, let me use that route.
Okay.
Anna, that route.
Of
course.
Good.
Me hu kivu. Me hu kosia.
Yes.
Me hu ntoma.
Yes.
Me hu 32 inch no. But the me can say enkrata who do nyina o matwa ba no. Very discouraging. It doesn't help solve the problem that we want to fight in this country about
party,
party, please. No be any hana di mercy cratch bi. OSP for any gidi coach mercy cratch bi. Yeah. Obi. But why the Baba catch now say maybe apart from you Baba Jamal Okaze and the star or yeah da brunya nyina no or yeah
and the interview before going before the committee.
Yeah.
Or say ono na onim ho hwe o. Or say ono ko after the election say you be TV. But no ono na o che bibi asa. Yeah. And that's what I was telling you say the obe who in the video.
By your problems, we can't solve it.
Say, we aspirant. And a BBC say, and our family say, lawyer, young before the committee.
I don't have a problem.
It's a question here, one question. Who am I? Obi who was out to make sure we say,
Patro Debbie.
See, then what's your problem?
It's yes, or we a problem in the
into Omoye Shemuni. Let's establish, say, Baba Jamal on the far TV. And I say, Baba Jamal's express instruction will be for TV. It's a different way.
Express instruction, the one because
and at the end of the day, emotions.
And I make us say,
the party made a good move. My disappointment, with the majority statement, said without calling for investigations, almost the whole thing should be annulled. Now you're banning all the aspirants. How would you ban them?
Okay.
Based on them.
Well, Obi, when a defeatee. Sir, I think does it defeat it?
We focus more on the symptoms rather than the root.
That is my point.
And I think Obiame, the most reasonable on this whole issue, Ras Mubarak.
That's my point.
His write-ups.
That's my point.
The political parties know. We just don't want to take the hard decisions and protest.
No, are
you saying, sir, NDC and not any of the political parties? So we are next internal elections we are on better committees at your party. And because I am Baba Jamal.
But that is my point. Obi make a say.
Please say what parliament we why not Angeli?
Obi make catch now say. Who's a cancer? Assembly bar. Ya be hwe na ye tu ase o se root no. Ya take on ye tu ase ya preoccupam na fi no. We don't do that. We do political solutions. We do emotional solutions. We do targeted solutions. And yet a nationalistic solution. Into the next election I be no. These same issues will come up again. And then those funny comments from the OSB write-ups as but you two problem now. We know.
And that's why me whom a majority for statement. Now me share mpanyifo a sign statement. Oman share mpanyifo a sign statement.
What is this?
Region be a caucus leader in the half region. Honorable Alhaji Collins Dauda a sign.
What is this?
Honorable Mohammed Bawa Brahima for Ashanti.
Why?
Honorable Vincent Oponwa Samoa for Bono. Queen Star Poku Asoya for Central.
Why?
Joseph Apia Boatin for East. Alfred Okobana Manvandapoy for Accra. Bandim Abednego Azuma North East. Al Hassan Umar Northern. John Bless Oti. Andrew Darry Chiwete Savannah. James Agalgaye Upper East. Sebastian Sandari Upper West. Oscar Oforila be Western North. Isaac J. Mensa, Isaac J. Mensa, Western Region. Emmanuel Kwesi Bejra Volta. Dominic Napari, Bono East. My point is that these are members of parliament. They know what happens during primaries. None of these 16 gentlemen can say so. Mumubia and church during primaries. My point is that Ras Mubarak go back to the roots.
Let's get that solution.
The only time they got it very right, a timer. All card-bearing members of the party eto abano. And Ras Mubarak said, but for that policy, I'm going to be MP. Because I'm quite a delegate system now to me. But it got to a point all card-bearing members of the party at Waba. You cannot bribe all of them. It's an AFC. And that is what I think the party should be.
I am amazed with some of the things that we do in this
rather than the cosmetic way and sustainable.
Very cosmetic.
How would you sustain this?
I am amazed. Then the OSP writes, because MPP ni NDC for Omana Montobi. Hey! OSP. Now, I don't get some of these things. Why? Why? The committee now the Baba Jama why the
committee is to establish if indeed Obi engaging in vote buying. That's the committee's terms of reference. They should establish Obi engaging in vote buying, and based on that way, then the party can make consequential orders, which includes but not limited to say Ombe annulling the whole.
Well, the media prescription is let all of us not pretend. Say this is one unique opportunity be an case be you're about to massive say you're about to have to na fena we be CBC then a broadband in Tiasia Suntino with the media and look at the swiftness of all the letters about him. Is this organized? Because from her to her to her, to her
you can see also a genuine intention to want to do things differently.
But
as to say
in doing things differently,
yes.
Now Baba Jama and Kwana.
So it has to start from somewhere.
There be nipa be the contest here NDC for.
Yeah, we nipa no.
It is NDC for the contest.
NDC for.
I hear even that the woman is serving on the board.
3 boards.
On the public officer.
Or a public officer.
What is the meaning of Baba Jama? What's the meaning of that? The other people only NDC for.
NDC.
I don't want to know their private life. They just came to power.
Yeah.
And the motorbike back here say.
Bakuno che motorbikes 100 motorbikes to the number of polling stations.
So where are their names?
130, yeah.
So where are their names? Please. Some person will demonstrate say when you brace Saudi way T2 NDC Amanyoko every neko most bema. This approach is wrong. 100% wrong. It will not yield any results.
May I think, sir, if the party is minded, then they should go back to the every card-bearing member voting. Every card-bearing member voting had a challenge because amount for infiltratee. But because of that challenge, you don't jettison the whole policy. It was all plucking loopholes and then you move on. But I want to jettison the policy and have a back at the same issue as I am you. The response should not be victimizing one person, because even in this whole narrative, Baba Jamal and Kwani.
That's the point.
It's so unfair.
That's the point.
It's also unfair.
Because you're clear, sir.
It's so unfair.
Intent, is not to kill that at the end of a higher man. It's just to target an individual. That is so unfair. Maybe a board me as so, or no allegedly say what Jessica. Obi or NDC. Mobile 1 year 3 months in watch a moto mark 130 or so. Because of the but the policy in elections is that we don't entertain any cash or any kind giving a bill. That's the policy in our elections. And try to say me win and be say I can't say we there. And then now about to a course war I was is NDC Amanu Koromania Bria. Omunfi shining in Antofon. No Musama, Sanko for number 12 Banibima, Omusanko, Sanko for the Ma, Onfanya Suchinis and Naoma, all other people in NDC. Equally MPP, equally every Ghanaian be a person standing public office biano who must inducement every year a lead factor in your campaign. You will be punished accordingly, but not this knee jerk.
So
anyway,
I think the party should begin thinking around abolishing delegate system. We are getting
no politician ben metina ha onsu say sikasem no ebro adwene nti politician be dem metina on kase ne de sikasem no ama me ne wo kwa ye kase enche bia if you are not careful criminals
now
these criminals who are making money through no means who enter the system.
It's true.
It is a person ni bring your boy a democracy no buy na ya man your samaye no ho bani and munyam ba mu dia. We should start well by checking some of these things. But this approach,
why I thought the majority crowd should have, my candid opinion, I thought the majority should have stayed out of this issue. Now, Omoma party, in dealing with the issue, because especially when majority members, under the guise of say Mokobon Sawa Amama, a week to the election, Mokobon 100,000 Ghana cedis. And from the get-go, everybody will go like 2 days to election in Po. 100,000 Ghana cedis. If people will go like, then what's the interest? If the minority then issues a statement, The statement doesn't call for investigations.
Jerry.
Statement they say straight away annul the vote and ban all the aspirants.
So can we also conclude that because their interest was not served?
How do you do that?
Is that a fair conclusion that because their interest was not served, that is why they also doing
It's a legitimate
inference? Inference.
I think the majority should have stayed out of this and allow the Fifi-Kwete-led party management.
Now, let's call this a fact.
This
Jack, one year man yourself. Yes, no man kasa. Yes, no more any demo. Yanyan kwada biemo. Yanyan kwada biemo. Sometimes I don't know what they think in their comfort that they are planning and they are scheming and orchestrating. They think that it's a walkover.
Yeah.
Asempa FM.
Yanyan kwada biemo. Yo how? Me kan na musi mi twetwa maso. Na me we from 1998 obi. Everything that we are Kumasi road. Who will say we are not bothered by that? If we say we are not bothered by that, please, you don't call it Obi, I'm 51 years. So the politicians think I don't have sense to think. Why? I don't know what person say when they go to their various homes, they are responsible there. We are also responsible there. We Suku Amuko and Yakobi. Ka Mutimi Yatimbi. And say Amu 18 year Tibi. If you film your film be, a could pay a crumb film your film be. It is so much yes, sir. We put them where they are.
President recalls Ghana's High Commissioner to Nigeria, and essentially, Nadia Omampeni Kane say, Honorable Baba, His Excellency Baba Jamal Nejuma as Ghana Ambassador to High Commissioner to Nigeria Fantoho, based on Neoma na Akoso Ayawaso East constituency. The basis really, then say, Owini the primary no anase the allegations of vote buying no India, which was with me, Pacho.
Oh, the I know. So we really primary side is not an offense. When you have the anti, we do election. So we really primary.
Yes.
Number two, it is important to clarify here. Say, there's no law. Send me no Kasim.
Asempa FM.
You see, High Commissioner being one say that pray internal primaries of a party, and also what contested parliamentary election. Now, we need parliamentary election of the MPDR. And when you say, or the Juma High Commissioner, Ambassador, not too. You can raise questions about propriety, but you are the lawyer. You know that there's no law that backs that kind of content.
Yes.
No, in itself is not an offense.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But I'm telling you now, anyway. And I'm say, a year primary question, and you be a Koswa.
Yes.
I find it say, Sikayene and Yamashibia. It's Yamra. A total Kedimani Tibiania memoirs. Now, I'm going to say, opening to the Masibian for. And so I'm penning Mahama. Oh, Yakapa, not the Ghana, who say a bar, a memoir. A better, I'm a paper and going to buy you. Make us say, you were orala. In Penipua, a baby or money baby a criminal, you have to be a someone somewhere, a crowd of courts for various offenses.
Yes.
If they are happening, in trade dinner, it's Yam Lana, a bitch in Yapo, a memoir. Old make I say, Nipa, A.D. said, Mano, said your man the party for an atomy and appointee, you know, on the necessary. Until media of bitch in Yayano, and they say, or bet chili panason. And not the two just say a year near me, a lady of Jamal. If some can be after so say, why did you exercise? Into no on Friday, the unknown to her as High Commission. Now, it's here not a Jomubu as a get me. And I know I say party no at my son could be almost saying, if I'm a young in theater and no come on first meeting.
Sure.
I stand to be corrected, but
that's true.
I'm getting.
That's true.
And your friend saying, OS so and saying, well, if you are for the other statement say, or yes, you should mean after when you be a person.
Yes.
So it was in response to allegations of vote buying, any union or media. It's here electoral loss into the company to Sanamon.
But which should have come first? Because as you said, now a allegations for now. Ain't if the president will make that move, say we're recalling a high commissioner based on allegations, would that not breach the fundamental rules of natural justice in this case, because up until that time Baba Jamal had not been heard unless Ebi Omanpenyin needing komo Emma Omanpenyin was satisfied say indeed on a yes had no. Is that what happened?
Oh, of course, yen to me one for our Brian Seneca, and that is not what President Mahama has done. But I think that there's sufficient basis on the evidence of the who to demand or require a certain kind of action. But as to whether he is guilty of the offense or not, it is only fair. Say you comply with the demands of natural justice, then you give me a hearing, and that is precisely why the party is going to look into the matter. The first thing, special prosecutor so
yes.
But I think there are times which means the ACOS even pending further investigation on any necessary judicial process, you can take some action. I mean, it sends a certain signal. Say in the area of what they are, and it's a bit one of them, and that is exactly what has happened.
If the investigations establish, say, what happens?
Well, that would mean that he has been cleared by a proper investigative committee.
Yes.
As to what happens next, they are maintaining the bachelor if he is willing to recall him, reinstate him, and after be the decision. But the point is that say a special prosecutor saying who's on
yes
party committee saying who's on, then I think that he will work a free man.
Growing perception, whether real or imagined, say when you take the NDC party establishment, they seem to be on a coalition course with the seat of the president, which is the presidency. Mijisa, what they were so to form what is answer so we say party, it take a position against the presidency anyway. It has a friction be one term any other. You may have heard that. What do you make of it, Felix?
I first of all maintain that.
Okay.
And I don't think there's even basis for science as a canon. It is not unusual for people to speculate in this regard. In fact, party BIBD or minus UBI has suffered that speculation. Like I said, Abro Mantini Kufo, a president. There was a time he was, in fact, at the year necessary, say, Obesia MPP delegates to speak to them. A whole of time, as someone said, so we a messenger or a memoir, a yes, so they your friend
General Secretary,
that is where that thing came from. And at the time, when I'm for the pass in the food because on your there was some friction and they were no police. It is usual speculation in Ghanaian politics and governance circles. But as I speak to you, I'm not aware of any friction. My main said, a party chairman, general secretary of NDC. They attend cabinet into major decisions. They are part of the delegation. So if there was friction, I'm not sure that they will be invited to cabinet to take part in deliberations concerning how to govern the country. So I also know of regular interactions between the leadership of the party and the president. They have access to the president. So we all have very good relations. Many a minister and now I'm many party general secretary. And your chairman, General Mosquito, because we have that cordial relation. So there's really no friction, except saying once we are coming to government, which will say it varies on patronage.
Yes.
It will be actually said in reality, also no.
Sure.
And I say, Obia also be answer better. Naturally, it brings a certain level of, if you like, and so to me, the Kasaba say, will be a fool, and I say, but those things are very normal in our politics, and then the SRC, and then also but it does not really affect the way that the country is governed. So there's really no risk.
Those who have made that argument have cited 2 or 3 instances. Number one,
give me the instances.
Number one, the General Secretary recently condemned or Moana calling for a 3rd term for John Mahama, calling them sycophants. And the people thought it was a direct swipe at the presidency. Number 2, recently, party, the neck and the NDC, neck of the party eba out ebe kan say we a government appointed up so running for party officer 6 months to time e was say we do adwuma eto. Some appointees feel say it's a slap on their face because Omufi said they are being unnecessarily targeted by the party. I spoke to the Deputy General Secretary of the party, said, was the president, who is the leader of the party, aware? And did he approve that decision? I mean, when to me, I'm a direct answer or coin cycles, Anna, Ujaito, it was obvious the president didn't approve that decision from in command in AD, you know. Some feel say these instances nature say all is not well between the party and the presidency.
Obi, let's examine the 2 instances. Any time, sir, won't say that the Ashanti Media Mahama say, in fact, President Mahama has explicitly denied it, and the law here, no. He was actually in a meeting with the president of Singapore. Now it would be. That was Singapore. And so he said it on an international platform. Actually,
yes.
I think Ghana had the end.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yes.
So he has put it on record. So on what basis is anybody going to suggest say on my belief or contest and you know grab a answer? Say General Secretary Kase Omwa and then I'm going to answer. But indeed there are people who have said those things.
Sure.
But the people are free to say what they want. So I'm asking. Obi, me to say Obi, the president 2024 and I 28 about what would the president could not. It is my view about you.
Yes.
It doesn't mean I won't obey it.
Sure.
You understand me?
Sure.
Aha. But if there are others who are saying that propagating it, not a general secretary say, well, not as a papa, it's what. You know how that constitutes a friction between the party and the government. If it were the case, say President Mahama, I declare intentions of contest, and I general secretary. Then you can talk about friction. But what is the basis for the friction? Because the general secretary has called out Nipebi as Kasansam. The man who is president has said, you have already met. So there's nothing to have friction about. Number 2, the party guidelines back. Now I say, we appointee of government now person could be a party more. We put that for we should be and place about one. Again, it is not new. And what the for Ghana memory. He caused about 7 or so ministers in his government to resign a year to the election because they wanted to contest the NDC primary.
Yes.
Yes, so it is not unprecedented. The party believes, say, in order to create a level playing field, so that I'll be abusing the position towards contesting a party position. And also, will be answer a buying mediation is an Anton Chayanko pre Dibia. Now, which means the focus of corporate our party Dibiana. I mean to know, resign 6 months to election. How does that constitute friction between the party and the people in government? I think it's a fair proposition. So we are office holder. You resign within a reasonable time and so on how corporate. Otherwise, you'll be conflicted.
Yeah, but because it involves appointees of the president.
Yes.
And the president being leader.
The president are bound by party guidelines.
I get you.
Yeah, the appointee of the president.
Yes.
Parliamentary seats 2028. I will have to go by the party guidelines. Except that in my case, the law does not require you to resign. Because in parliament, you can be a minister and be an MP.
Yes.
So that one doesn't arise.
Yes.
But if I was the CEO of an entity and any other office holder outside of a ministerial way, I'll be required to resign. It is only fair. It makes sense. How does saying that and after developing these guidelines constitutes a rift between the party and how does it target anybody? It doesn't target anybody.
Yeah, but these are.
Let me also add.
Okay, Felix.
Even assume you said there was a disagreement.
Yes. Yes.
Between the party and government in terms of policy position, and I said how to set the line. That is not a bad thing because I have been in government. 2 ministries have disagreed on policy before. That in itself is not bad. It only means that we are thinking about how to develop our country, how to run governance properly, and at the same time maintain a strong and healthy party. So
yes.
But to say because the general secretary of the party has said this, things that you and I can attest to say, they are sound and reasonable. You know, there is friction. No, I don't get it. To be honest with you, and in any event, has even nothing to do with I also West. I also East
in sense. But not me, Busa say, because these are appointees of the president, helping the president to prosecute his agenda for Ghana. Some of these appointees were drawn from the party. Ebi direct party executives or manpenyi power say omumrame som e wona ban. If the party is going to take a decision, which decision may deprive the president of these people of the use of human resource we are? You think the president should not be a critical part of that decision?
Now, why do you agree to say the president is unaware of it? So where is that authority coming from? But the president come and tell you,
no, but I told you, sir, many general secretary of the deputy general secretary didn't come. I asked him a direct question, say, on the day the decision was made, was the president in attendance at NEC or say no? Did the president approve of that decision? He couldn't give an answer.
But it doesn't mean that the president was not aware. The president doesn't have to attend a NEC meeting to be aware of the party decision. But you see, the point is that as a party, we operate according to rules. Why? If the party chairman, the general secretary, each member in a cabinet to deliberate over some of the most important policy decisions about we take here.
Yes.
Why should it be difficult for the president to be party to a party decision? The president doesn't need to come and tell you, say, that is what happened. If the regulations as have been set out by the party general secretary were unfavorable,
yes,
were illegal, or were inimical to the interest of the party, you would have heard clearly, retorts and answer rebuttal. But nothing of the sort has happened. Number two, I don't even see how complying with the guidelines, top of contested party position with an 6 months to the time, can constitute deprivation of the president of Sahel panel services. Omanpeni Epau said the minister. And I believe
yes.
Your primary responsibility is to focus on that job. So you leave and then you go and do it. What mean you're not doing it at the same time? But of course, practically, there have been people who have been co-opted from the party to serve in critical positions.
Yes.
You find that in most instances, are their deputies. Because practically it's not possible to be a minister and say a high-level government official and who
still do party work,
which requires intense work, day-to-day work.
Yeah.
In fact, there are many of those people who themselves have declared intense contest because they know the workload that they carry.
Yes.
It will not permit the sufficient attention to be paid to the party position as well.
Yes.
So that in itself is not an issue. So a personal decision. And I make it say I want to retain my position in government or I want to serve the party. You make that position, but say you have to comply with guidelines. Does not constitute a risk at all.
Very well, Felix. My say to say the majority caucus in parliament, which is such a critical wing in your party.
They are critical as the youth wing, the women's wing, the diaspora wing, the local caucus. They are. Listen, they are a wing. Hey.
But they cannot be on the same level as the youth.
Why?
Oh, please.
Did they write exams to sit in parliament or people voted for them?
No, please.
I said the general secretary of the party speaking, nobody as a locus. I will not miss this word.
You are talking about the majority caucus.
And so what?
Led by the leader of
and so what? Is he bigger than the general secretary?
The Minister of Parliament.
Is he bigger than the general secretary of the party? He is not. Tomorrow the general secretary can take him off that seat. Ochina, the signature of the general secretary of the party can take him off the majority caucus seat. Simple. Want to mean pray. I get him
off as a leader of the majority.
Yes.
Not as a member of parliament.
No. Say at the time we move out, general secretary and communicate here. I don't have a problem, but party not communicate. Into at that moment, say move of view here, you don't put it public. It's like you are robbing yourself. Why?
And no move you, no taking
position without hearing anything. And you're fair. And I don't think we have to encourage this thing. Because you encourage here, all we are asking is that all the groups in the party will start writing calling, do this. And then another group can say, hey, maintain it. You don't have. What are we going to do? Are we not going to fight ourselves? Very well. They are the members of parliament, revered, respected, but they have no locus in this matter.
Committee report, I was saying
about China. Na party ni take a decision.
To all intent and purpose. Say annual results.
Call for sad.
The majority in parliament. Majority in parliament. Oh,
who are they? People should be careful.
The members of the majority caucus of the NDC in parliament has become aware of the widely circulated allegations of vote buying in the just concluded NDC parliamentary primary in the Ayawaso East constituency in the Greater Accra region. The caucus wishes to strongly condemn these developments against the background of the agenda to reset the politics of this country. After extensive deliberations on the matter, the core leadership, as well as the extended leadership of the caucus, has resolved to communicate to the Functional Executive Committee of the NDC as follows. 1. That the primary of the NDC organized in Ayawaso East constituency be annulled immediately. 2. That any candidate who participated in the said primary and has been established to have engaged in this unethical conduct be banned from participating in the subsequent primary after the annulment of the decision. In the Omonoman calling for investigation in Poor Mosi Munchem Bane aspirants. This is the majority, and it's signed by 16 caucus leaders of the majority per each region. Region, they are caucus leader from
listen, watch my face. They are locusless.
Only locus. The parliamentary.
You're careful. And now some number. You see, a responsible political party, the moment general secretary are communicating, nobody have a locus. It's like normally the youth wing of the party can also issue a statement. Women's wing, diaspora caucus, Zongo caucus. Is that how we run a party?
No.
What is this? General secretary, after consultation with the leadership, political committee and everything, was directed to issue a statement and say this is the way of the party. What is their locus in this? Secondly, on was our cover being see a power confo which of them is not guilty of what has happened?
Offense way.
So what is this? Why won't you leave the party to take the decisions or the actions you want to take? And you go out there to make this thing.
Now, I mean,
at the end of the day,
what surprises me is majority of the members of the majority, you can't say caucus, no, are lawyers. I mean, say BBSC. Now you don't even call for investigations straight away. Annul the vote, ban the people involved. Really?
Oh, is that how we should act in this country? Democracy, no, legislators, we natural. And for me statement, me feel so bad. So bad.
Especially
as we speak, many of them, majority of them, are buying things and keeping in their home to even determine who become a branch chairman, who become a branch secretary. They shouldn't look. They shouldn't put some of us. We want the sanctity of the party. Yes, I stand for it. Any decision that will come from the committee investigation, whatever, I will stand for it because. What did we call for? We called to reset this country. And the political party that called for a reset of the country, say, be a caution the party image, but call into distributor. And then I can say, I'm familiar with this person, where Madame Funti, because Jilani Chipimpina, and the Nguasha brain. Any decision will have its ups and downs, consequences, but we are looking at a global view. How this thing went viral. And international media has looked at it, and the personality involved was a diplomat. Are you getting me? That was why the president have to go the route he went. Are you getting me? Inti party a communicate president ni route naba. You say come humble. This should sober every individual in the NDC. Say if you don't apply maturity, this is how it will end you. Because which of us can say a by-election, we don't do certain things that will motivate the voting public to give us the leverage. We do, but sensibility. So and then when we apply sensibility and maturity, na wato jemwa kra no neman ni kronu. Why? Oh minia we de watom yemfa unsi nchen yempe then injection violet ni abombelet bi mu so ni abombelet amoxicillin bi mu na yemfa fra powder Saturday night powder na dressing powder na yemfa krakra ewu a dachi bi nyame betina e wadum. That is how we should go. But obia jumpy like kill the baby with the bathroom water because we dry na we jani na egu enti kunu ukunu ya ude na obinya. Are you getting me? Nobody will support whatever went on to say oh I see that one night. But how we humble ourselves in this whole process is a careful. It's a curve, you know, in the political practice, you know, every time you meet a curve, but how do you navigate that curve? You navigate in a year or China, you will see your way clear. I think from the top to largely majority of the grassroots, nobody is happy with it because it didn't speak well. I know people are agitating. It's part in here where look, everybody should humble himself. Be humble because a bit me ayemi, a bit me ayo. Me, the reason why many people will say Anthony de Umbuadi or say me, I am the only person who can tell you take your vote. I don't need it. Say me see can open carry your vote. Because you see, me, I've never gone to election on election day said me chardy. In the process of campaigning, every constituency I make the army one me the mom to say yes, my bar, my free bro, my betinas, my betie me. Me election day. So Benyami say me kita tekuni sempo me mama ni bi. Muntu ma muntu. And family home. Because I don't have that capacity say we call around crap on easy. And yet easy so be mobilizing. So Charlie, every concern me kwa ebia looking at the terrain, maybe I'm confusing okay, maybe at 2,000, maybe at 3,000, maybe at 5,000. Just say mudi sorti mo ho. Na me we abre abetinasi election day. Now say mo free maba mi mama mamuntu me mau. Yes. And everybody can attest me election day I don't do it because nyame won me dey abrem wo ho no ene musumu dia ni say mo ba be kire me odo na nyina yetu anamo abodi party. Are you getting me? Haven't you seen this thing happening when people you see shamefully on them? Some of them who are talking today, we have pictures of what they branded in the last premise, what they ice chest cook nyamafumbi normal cause say China. Excuse me to say this. Normal be chama women organizers, youth organizers nyamafum enye dimampu. And they are talking today in parliament. Please. He who never commit that sin should take the first stone and cast.
Cast the first stone.
Are you getting me? Why? Why are you jumping ahead of the party's decision or the party's roadmap? Why? It is an act of indiscipline.
On the part of the
majority caucus.
The majority caucus.
Yes. When the general secretary of a party speaks, nobody. Whoever you are nobody. That is the communication of the party. Finish. Wait until the next step. Who will be here? Fako committee name. Then you jump to air and make this statement as if say party near headless. Where are we going? Timmy Mesre, Obi Biara Jubrel. I also is for Mamutu Biswabo, Mamutu. Calm down. The party is in a critical decision making. It can be palatable, it can be unpalatable. But at the end of the day, the integrity and the sanctity of the NDC is what we are all looking at. Nobody can vary whatever decision will come. That will be them. And you see, a candidate has emerged, but without the letterhead and the signature of the General Secretary to EC, he can't file.
Yeah, that's true.
He or she cannot file.
That's true.
And the supporters may not know this. And you win. Yes, you have won. We have had it before. People have won election, but they didn't file.
Before we need primaries, but now
yes,
on the ticket
yes.
of the party. Yeah.
So everybody should come. Now, influences and emotions should be taken out of this. Look, I was so tense and bad looking at Obi friend say, I'm not going to declare whether you were happy or you were not happy. We didn't know what was happening. How will I be happy? Are you getting me? Me the message. You was said here, and Greater Accra, volatile region and a volatile constituency. Also, and yeah, we can joke with the emotions of the people there. So whatever will come out, we need to navigate it and make sure say Obiati say look, ni akosu ni akwaba nyina no eye party ni do ni party ni dachi. Any fortunately ye kra on my Ghana. The international look and the local look of the people who gave us the mandate, everything come to play at the table. I get me say your man be so na we are waka if you nipa na sample say oh me na me kan so me there mejem enko. That is maturity. But yeah my mu there it's like say kankan kra ba junti na ikurim.
But there are those who believe and so say in all of this, no, one person seems to be targeted.
No,
I say Obi anipa ba kun obi ebo ni dey.
Fine.
Allegations then so were say almost all the aspects.
And nothing a committee no is taking the pieces.
Okay.
Is taking the pieces. Yes, will be here. But
yes.
But would you not beto dwa? Would you beto dwa yes investigate? But you won't want to investigate before, during, and after. What happened? What gravity of material inducement and a course across the candidates? If people can be bold and go and say yes, Miji say, this is the evidence. That is firm.
Emra mainstream party no NDC General Secretary this statement by the first statement is also targeted at Baba Jama. I'm saying at the Bonnie Ben away. Baba Jama, Bonnie Ben away. Now this is no more. No one knows my year to my Baba Jama. I've known Baba Jama since to a Nente Sebao. Our Jinamoma party no. But then na ye ni sumina so. Baba wo a boss sa. Now
About your former deputy general secretary.
Yes.
Of the party.
Yes. Starting before say propaganda, Baba Ayejuma NDC Bao. I said the deputy minister for information.
Sure.
What you say? But a coin modena fasono. As if him. Now only
mischief.
NDC statement no smacks of hypocrisy and double standards. Because system candidate no are winning and therefore
which one is system candidate?
Hajia. Omokobo Hajia nso bia metie na me yema shime.
Majority caucus.
These same people.
This same majority caucus now the kobo.
Omo na kobo nsa.
2 days.
2 days Hajia nyen konchema delegates.
Oman kan sa.
Sa na kire Hajia jina konchema delegates.
Oman 100,000.
Asamba na ya no mo kan. Unim.
Eto breakfast. 100,000.
Hajia jina konchema branch executive we ni mafo ani bra bre. Me say who drew a omo hwe ba bia o emo no 5 kilos yetimi yimiensa yes Hajia dia. Mampanyini se Hajia dia. Mampanyini se Hajia dia.
Me ntina ma wonya misue.
And Sanya ma wo no ko ni ho.
Obi oji no. Me for mampanyi di body we mu. You can't be the president's name into this. No.
I saw some CEOs on their ground now. Omo campaign in fact unim.
see Baba Kudi.
Oh, I don't know person may be no problem.
And then why?
Anthony, maybe
he's lying.
No,
Anthony,
hold on.
You are misleading.
Facebook crowd almost crowd be church.
You are
I don't even need unim
but to make a definite statement say omo be chair more man penny.
omo de man penny na your campaign. Tie. Eto omo hunu say baba ye popular e wo ni ma chair man penny ni. E ha omo. I'm telling you, at the end of course or no. Say me media as a political watcher no. Sa nyema we no menim. My year media my say mo chia che matene mo achem my yebi. Nti minim ni eko. Eto omo hunu say ye the presidency abeye campaign aye bibia bi baba ti me piti ye dia. Enye ogu man panyina ni mu ase. Because the candidate na anwen. Now please. Munya botre kakra. Because say ye campa dia and ye when it comes to bribery from what I said me feel a very serious issue affecting individuals, government, society obia because obia him say proyene kan dia enye papa e bomb mine. Now the concentration is on vote buying. What about the vote selling? Because the law is against vote selling.
Yeah.
I don't want to believe say Baba is on tape. Or catch on say J TV 32 inches.
Yes.
Nakoto Abama me. If he's on tape, and now say world meetings no, branch meetings no. So omunya bibi sa say onu John say me mamu TV monyin koto Abama me dia. Enye na Baba mu asem wo ho. But so omo anya sa pona it will be difficult to establish that prima facie say indeed Baba Jama at the TV influencing delegates.
So the timing of giving it out, if indeed it's free, the timing also can be an issue.
Now the idea will be a timing in the home.
No, say are they all the check wine are they delegates? Did they vote? All those can be considered.
I don't know. Watch Kosia.
Yes. Yes.
Kosia no. Any item na watch.
Any item.
Good. When is a bitch Amonike now? Abonike say you know.
Fetri
I'm telling you.
Abonike.
Yes. Any ama bebre na akoso.
Me dem tie Kivo Gary mix
me say me konya omochebi when unim say some of the appointees say omomoton sa yogurt ne farmer one utwema no machi wagina ho aja say yen chema and sometimes you ask yourself say and then cause ani na akoso na baba na nanimo hanto omo hange no and omo ye ne sa. It's so pathetic. Because you see, a more politician or kasa say we bia obia beka say uye nyacho and they say we are all involved.
Sure.
We are all involved. In fact, political parties at 2000 at 574 no crano eka esisu duampo say sika kra ye de funding political activities no yen disclose to electoral commission.
Yes.
Only say act ne ka say sika political parties bet menya any say obenya sika from obeje membership dues.
Yes.
And I say
so obenya contribution local Ghana ni
but want me ko sika
every foreign.
This NDC say elections are your call 2024 no omo jiska ni be free ni.
Send the obi ani.
Obi ani. Omo na make us a
politician. Mo di bi.
Mo sem na ye kan ya waso no man ntobo ne yanka. Eti edru ba bi na say asem ne ba say na omapanyina tiesim na NDC parliamentary party no matiasim no matiasim a no say nyatwomfo no na epiepie ba no because omapanyini ankasa kra no or con elections he gave money to delegates a baba here topic I discussing no this very studio.
Yeah.
Media course now you see the real target is not Baba Jamal. It's NPP.
Sir.
Yes, only say OSP no. as well by investigating MPP call presidential branch. Yes, me omo ye. Baba the name kosi twe. Me omo ye. That they want to know say okay MPP for mo call ye no we most so na bontine bi so be kan meje 500 Ghana meje 700 meje say enti no omo time say by the number sources of funding ni free hene. You see, I know all these things, but unim ye nyina no knee jerk reaction. You see, if you want to combat corruption in this country, share legislations. Your major legislations are anti-corruption in this country. However, political parties, BT two glamorous political parties, they say MPP, NDC. Say MPP, they show more constitution, we say. Your core primaries, be it presidential or parliamentary, and your core constituency executives, and our regional executives, who you designate you as a delegate. You be say, oh, GBB every one can say best sanction. Also, I would man your best sanction. And the NDC so are you same. I make it provisions in their constitution. Trust you me. And I enter the same way.
But how about as Ras Mubarak proposes say the NDC, for example, should go back to what they started, say every card bearing member in Twaba at that level. And
no cry there was a balloon in corruption.
Oh, now they would
there be getting crowd on the toes you. I'm telling you, you see, you're funny. This delegate system. And you're very, very funny.
And so scrap it.
So that is the point. So there should be a discussion. It is our conversation cost to see practical approach. I bet me they are combating corruption and bribery in this country. Than sad year we say emotions. No, yeah, sorry. Oh, and yeah, castrating no. No, not at all. OSP. Oti ya kukuru. No, sorry. What the whole deal be show mu bia no mu kodidi. Ewia bia be show mu bia microphone no call lunch. What is OSP phone? You see, a juma na nkasa e wo so omo hwe ye no. I just say ye ka ho asemansa no ma sorry. What is that? Me anti-corruption crusader. My in fact, African Parliamentarian Network Against Corruption. I was the national chapter secretary. What did they mention when I was in Parliament? When it comes to corruption, you work first with no. But look at what is happening. Baba Jama, Baba Jama says, no, I am victim. Oshana Semna, the man Yare, one say, any point, Obi didn't dia iska. Obi didn't dia iska, Echo Che, Tiseka Baba nye, Sebia, allegedly, say TV, free na, ne hobe bia, man, ne campo, meaning Kababa lose elections. No? Baba lose elections, so and Koma Korea Behruno. Honorable Wari. You see the people we are dealing with. Amu pewanim guasie, enti nguasiana mano, yensan chuntofu. That is what is happening. Some of us have gone through Sanyama way, and I know the pains